Why is divorce so common? Well, let's look at this through the lens of the theology of the body. Man and woman cannot get divorced. In the beginning, it was not so. What God has joined together, no man can put asunder. No man can divide. That is an important thing to hear from Jesus, that divorce is not part of his plan, that Moses only allowed that because of the hardness of our hearts. In other words, because we just couldn't deal with our woundedness. We couldn't handle the conflict of addressing the pain, the frustrations, or the issues that had bubbled up through the time and resentment that had built over the last several years. But Jesus Christ himself wants us to soften our hearts. He wants us to enter into that purgative, challenging journey of authentic love, of dying to ourselves, of letting go of our opinions, our perceptions, our resentment, our anger, our frustration, and learning how to love as he loves. Now, this is hard because it requires the cooperation of two people, but God planned that men are capable of dying to themselves and women are capable of demanding that love from their husbands and allowing them to love them rightly. St. Paul in Ephesians chapter 5 said, "Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church. Wives, submit to your husbands." In other words, submit is submission under the mission of the husband. Wives, enter under this mission. What is the mission of the husband but to die to himself, to give his whole self to his wife? If we want to understand why there's so much divorce in this world, we have to first think about the hardness of the human heart, the resentment that we've allowed to build, and then trust that God can conquer the worst things that have ever happened in a human relationship, in marriage. He can soften hearts and provide an avenue toward forgiveness, common ground, and reconciliation that seems impossible until you pass through it. Why do I say this? Because I've lived it. I know it. I would not be married today if my wife did not have the kind of divine mercy that I did not deserve. I would not be married today if I did not have the kind of family and friends that have supported me. The question comes down to this. Yes, there is a lot of divorce that surrounds us that we've been affected by. But does that mean that we should give up? No. Never give up. Trust that God can work miracles.